Hey, my name's Kevin Gill, Omega Psi Phi, Omicron Epsilon Spring of '92, Paul Quinn College. What's up, team? Yeah, I like to piggyback on what Coach Hicks said about just being a good teammate. Not only coming in to be, a student athlete, but a guy that's going to be able to represent your program in a very good manner. And that's how the kid's going to be successful in life by just coming in, not having his own agenda. I mean, his agenda should be get an education, be the best guy you could be, and then be the best teammate you can be. Because in this world, when you're a good teammate, you're going to be able to fit in no matter what you do in life. I think the number one thing for me is just buying in. When a guy comes from, high school, or even I may get a, JUCO transfer, Division I transfer, and just buying into the process. Guys want to come in with their own agenda. Some guys do, but the guys that really come in, stay the course, and do what they're supposed to do, those guys get better. I mean, I've had guys that just come in that weren't recruited hardly, they get high major scholarships just because they said, okay, coach, I really believe what you say. So I'm going to do what you asked me to do. If it fails, okay, that's on you, which is on me. And I tell them that. But, one of the best statements I heard Michael Jordan say the other night was, I choose not to play for another coach. I mean, he was loyal to his coach. He was loyal to Dean Smith. Then he was loyal to Phil Jackson. And when guys buy in, and the quicker you buy in, some guys, they don't do it until the end of the season or till it's too late. And then they say, man, if I only had it. And that's what we tell you when you first get here. If you just buy into the process, I mean, I've never seen a coach that likes to lose. And he's going to put the best guys on the floor that listen. And listening is that's a talent now.
Yeah.
I mean, just like shooting a jump shot, listening. You get guys that listening and doing what you ask them to do. Man, it's amazing how the game could turn out for you. The gun, I mean, he get a chance to, if some kids averaging 15 points over here, and that's not enough. And that's not good, because what it does is, to me, it gives guys the opportunity. I mean, there's some coaches out there that will recruit. I mean, you play a mid-major, play against a high major, and a kid from a mid-major has 21 points, and now he's got a chance to go be a high major player next year based off of that one good game that he had. And, it can be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, but when kids start to transfer, you got to remember this. When they transfer, they problems transfer with them. So you got to remember that. You got to answer this, because, I mean, it's really funny. Last week, we were recruiting a kid in Alabama, and he went to the prep school. Pretty good player, too. And he's been quiet on Twitter all year. And, we offered the kid. We've done the background. We offered him. And an hour later, it's so good to have being able to talk to Coach Gill and Coach Green, and I'm blessed to receive an offer. Less than 2 days later, he has 7 offers.
That's what happens.
7. I mean, so after talking to the kid, I talked to the parents again, talked to the kid, and they're going to make a decision, at the end of the month. I don't have to the end of the month. And see, a lot of these kids, they hurt themselves where they could, if they investigate, be in a really good situation. And now, just like, Coach at Tulsa, I mean, if you offer somebody, so somebody's going to say, oh, that guy must be pretty good, so I better look and see, and then I may try to offer him. And then it may be a lesser school, and then he misses out on you because he's waiting for a bigger offer, and then now he has to go to a lesser school. So, I mean, social media is something else, man. It's something else. Well, that's our job as a coach, is to groom those young men from the beginning. Once they get here, this is what I tell them when I recruit them. We're not going to be friends right now, but one day I want to teach you how to become a young man, because one day you're going to be a husband, you're going to be a father, and you got to be able to provide for that family that you have. And I have a perfect example. There was a kid that played for me back in '05 named Marvin Gentry out of Fort Worth, Texas. And, he was a good player, but he didn't have a father in his life. And I took him under my wing, and to this day, he calls me Pop. And 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, he got married, and guess what? He invited me. I was in his wedding, and to this day, he still calls me Poppy. And that's what we do. I mean, that's what we need to do. Is while we're coaching those kids, you want to be hey, this is what success is like. We're going to show you how to be a role model. We want to be a role model for you. So when you go out in the world, you know how to act, you know how to do this, you know how to do that. But then in the end, once you graduate and you become older, that's when you're going to become my friend. And now, hey, you invited me to your wedding, but our job is to teach these kids from day one, hey, this is how you do it, because we were all raised by our parents. Most of us are grandparents, uncles or aunts, and they taught us the little bitty things like, yes, sir, no, ma'am. We could take these guys to church. It's more than about basketball with us, because, it's our due diligence to help these kids become better than we are. And
that's lifting as we climb.
Yes.
And you got it. I mean, and that's, it's our job, put it that way. It's our job. And that's what I tell a parent. When you drop your kid off with me, it's not going to be just about basketball. Basketball is going to take care of itself if he does what he's supposed to do. But to get that education and to learn how to respect people and do the right thing, that's when you have a chance to make an impact on somebody. It's over, because what we do after the season's over, we put a 24-second shot clock on, and you go to 7, everything wins. You play with a different team every day, and I keep up with the wins and losses you have until the end of the year, till the year's over. So now you're competing, and you get to play with different people, so we can find out who's the best player in there. Not the best player may not be the most talented. The best player is the guy that wins the most. You know what? I keep up with their win-loss record, and man, at the end of the day, I say, okay, I'm going to give you something, whoever has the best winning percentage. And we play like 95 games, almost 100 games until the end of the year. And we go to 7, no three-pointers don't count. First one to 7, 24-second shot clock, call your own fouls. If there's a dispute, I just say, hey, it's their ball. But that's how you develop guys, by playing every day. You guys are old enough to remember, hey, sometimes it may not have been basketball. It may have been outside playing kickball. It may have been throw up tackle. But you compete and you learn how to put different touches on the ball. Now you get a guy and he'll throw the ball hard as he can 15 feet away from a guy. So guys don't really understand how playing everything. Don't be just a basketball player. Learn how to do everything, and then that makes basketball a lot easier. But also the number one thing, it makes you compete. And that's what separates Michael Jordan from a whole lot of guys, because he hated to lose. He competed to the fullest every day. My best piece of advice would be, once you get to a program, buy in and do what asked of you to do. But the main thing that you're there for is to get an education. Education will take you a number of places that other things won't, and you'll always have it to fall back on. But once you get to a place, it's almost like with your wife. Once you marry her, hey man, you committed. Make sure you take care of your business, do everything you're supposed to do. And hey, now during this bad time of COVID, hey, you did your due diligence. Now, hey, you don't want to be stuck in the house with somebody that you don't want to be with. So make sure you take care of your business. That's what I'm saying, is do your due diligence, get there, buy in, and once you buy in, make sure you get your education, and the sky's the limit for you.